but did the play count? I hear whistles. They tried to fake it, but they took too much time. Delay of game. Preston Daniel took off.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
There was a little Pumperooski here, but they didn't execute it in time. Spoils what would have been a huge gain and a momentum changer.
Wow, what a gutsy call by Mike Norvell.
Let's listen for the whistle here.
Wow, close. That whistle seemed to come in right as that ball was being snapped, and the big fella Daniels had a chance to pick up that big first down. Boy, Mike Norvell, gutsy call, just doesn't get it the snap off.
You work on that. You wait for the chance to execute it. You feel like you need a momentum play, and it works, except there was a second late. Mastromano, who rolls out to his right like a lot of Aussies, had to dodge some pressure, then kicks it in the crowd. It landed in the 8th row on the far sideline, and the Gators will have great field position.
That's the family section over there for the visiting team. I don't know if one of the parents is going to keep that ball as a keepsake, maybe. That thing went deep up in the stands.
It's getting uglier for the Noles. 16. Good year, more driven. 2 largest crowds ever in this place were this rivalry game, FSU in Florida. And the Gators, real positive start. That punt by Mastromano, just 16 yards after a 31-yard fake punt was negated by the penalty. Gators take over at the +40, and Etienne is loose. Etienne around the end picks up about 14.
Again, I want to continue to focus on these linebackers, how they're getting lost. They're opening up holes themselves because of the different formations. Good block there on the tight end there, Hayden Hansen. It opens it up. But the linebackers' eyes right now with pre-snap movement, they're really getting caught up looking and watching and guessing, and they're busting as far as their gap assignments and filling up those holes.
Etienne off the left side. You're talking about linebackers for Kalen DeLoach, Tatum Bethune. They've been part of the strength of this defense. Very experienced, solid players.
Yeah, and in their defense, you know, and just talking to Adam Fuller, the defensive coordinator on the field before the game, I said, what do you think of this kid, Max Brown? He said, well, we just don't know. You know, we think we have an idea. I mean, we know he's a dual guy. We went back, we've studied a lot of different things, but imagine 1 week trying to change everything you've seen from Florida under Graham Mertz to a totally different kind of style with a mobile quarterback. So I think they're trying to make adjustments here as this game goes on.
2nd and 3. Gators trying to punch it in again and really build a lead and put this Noles team on the ropes. Etienne knocked down right near the marker by Brown, but it's a totally different thing, isn't it? Without Travis there and his dynamic ability to change a game in 1 play, it feels important for this Noles defense to make a stand here.
They're going to have to, but again, this is not just about Max Brown. This is about Billy Napier, the job and the plan that he's put together and the way he's changing up looks and making his defense think.
Brown didn't look too comfortable under center, that's for sure. Took a quarterback sneak and got nothing. It's 4th down.
No, you're right about that. He's looked very athletic and very much in command on every snap except that one.
Well, Napier, you figure at 5 and 6, you need something, and he's keep the offense out there on 4th down. They've gone for it a lot. They've gone for it 21 times this season. Only made 9. Only need 1 this time. Got to hurry unless they're going to spend a timeout. Yeah, they're in no hurry to run a play, so they will, you would think, yeah, take a timeout here and talk about this play, because I just think.
Field, and early on it's Haynes King from Georgia Tech, untouched. Now, gentlemen, I'm not saying, but it's been absurd today, so who knows? Georgia Tech up early.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, the Bulldogs fall behind every game. They always give up an early touchdown. Well, the decision is to send Trey Smack out for a field goal attempt on 4th and 1, though the 35-yarder to make it a 10-point lead, and he knocks it through. The analytics, Kirk, say go for it on 4th and 1. They always seem to say go for it, but what's your thought on that decision?
Well, you know, 5-6. You're playing an undefeated team in a rivalry game. You've dominated. You can make a case for being aggressive and going for it. You can also make a case for getting up by a couple possessions with the way your defense is playing. But the story so far has been Max Brown stepping in for Graham Mertz has shown that he is a dual guy that can not just run, but look at these throws that he's making. Chewing on his mouthpiece as he's making that big third down throw. This gives you an idea of the baseball background, just kind of slings this like a shortstop. Perfect throw. He's been in command. He's leading this team, and right now he's got to feel really good about his start.
Yeah, 4 for 4 and passes thrown on third down. Max, by the way, he's tightened up the look there. The hair no longer looks like the little photo there. He's not playing tight, though, that's for sure.
No, you're right. 4 for 4 with 3 first downs on those throws. He's also run for a first down.
Meanwhile, Tate Rodemaker has just not been able to get settled in or get any kind of rhythm. 2 3-and-outs. Florida's run 21 plays in Noles territory. FSU has run 6 plays so far. Period. But a problem keeping that ball on the tee. This is a test. We talked about this veteran football team, this complete, poised, confident group surrounding an inexperienced quarterback. It's time for those folks to step up, and it's time for Rodemaker to try to get settled in. What is he like? What is he comfortable with?
Well, Mike Norvell tried to flip the script with that fake punt, but they had to delay a game. He sensed what you and I and everybody watching is sensing, that this right now is a game where the field is slanted.
Fan has a chance here and take over the 21. This is from Jordan Travis after suffering that gruesome fractured ankle last week from his hospital bed.
What's up, y'all? It's Jordan. Just want to let y'all know I'm doing good. Feeling good. Got a smile on my face. Just going to follow God's plan, man. God has a journey for me, and I'm going to trust him every step of the way. I appreciate y'all for all the messages. Go Noles.
Surgery to put some metal in that ankle. The recovery should not be a long-term thing like an ACL. He should be able to begin to prepare for his pro career. Johnny Wilson, big fella. Yards after contact by receivers. The Noles lead the country in that department. See why.
There's a first example of it right there. And Wilson at 6'7", 237 pounds. Good blocks out in front of him. Bell getting involved in that. And then he just runs through it. That's determination right there.
Toafili off the right side. Little indecisive on his cut, and Manny Nunnery brings him down. Just a tremendous career. Remember, unlike the other Noles quarterbacks who played at an elite level, Jordan Travis did not inherit a powerhouse program like Ward and Winkie and Winston did.
And when we saw him on the field before the game, I just wanted to tell him, I said, man, watching you put this program on your shoulder, I think that's what people are going to remember you for. Not just all the great plays, but really that being the heart and soul of turning this great program around.
Absolutely. A guy who wanted to switch to receiver at one point before Norvell said that's ridiculous. Rodemaker zips the throw. He was a little bit late with it trying to find Keon Coleman, and it's broken up. Third down.
He's just late here, and again, inexperienced player right here just kind of gets caught occupied a little bit to the inside, and then he senses that ball's going out. There's nobody out there on that rail route, so he jumps it. Close to being caught. Keon Coleman, that's only the second target. One of the top receivers in the country. He's only had a couple chances.
Defense secondary back there. A lot of freshmen. That's Devin Moore, who's been injured. He comes back today. It's important that number 28 lends some stability to this group. They bring pressure on third down. Rodemaker launching down the sidelines. Look for Wilson. And that time, they don't win the battle on the contested catch. Moore made a nice play. Fourth down again.
There he is again. I don't think he saw the football, but he's in phase, going up against a big man. And he does a good job just by being in position. The ball hits the back of his helmet. And he didn't make contact. There was a little bit of arm contact, but not enough for a call. And by being in great position, no chance to make the catch by Wilson.
So here's Mastromano again. James Rosenberry didn't do him any favors with that snap. Last time it was off target and led to a shank. This time it's executed pretty well, and Mastromano boots it high and deep, and Pearsall who's still waiting for his first touch, by the way. The top receiver. It's midway second quarter. Max Brown pulls it, has some space, and will take off. Lost the football, rolled out of bounds. Dent, who's been very active so far, knocked it loose, but a break for Florida.
Dent gets to him. He's able to work around Peyton, and then he gets into the open area, but there's that ball away from his body. Dent comes in with a left hand to knock it loose, but he does. Ball goes out of bounds, and they get positive yards on that 1st and 10 play action play.
Got to get the ball in your right arm.
Yeah, got to tuck it close to the body.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall just limped off the field. There's a guy that is the dangerous weapon. Lines up all over the place. 52 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. Hasn't seen the ball yet and is now being checked out by the athletic training staff. Johnson runs through a tackle, goes sideways, gets a yard, and it'll be 3rd down and about 6. Holly?
We talked to Graham Mertz yesterday, and he was telling us that he doesn't want to get in the way, but he definitely wants to be there to support Max Brown and the Florida Gators. He said he was at practice every day this week, and he would stand behind the play with a clipboard, just like with Coach. And he's let Max know, listen, I don't want to get in your way, but I'm here. And he is right here on the sideline. He's involved in everything and trying to lend any help that he can. He said, these are my brothers out here, and I want to make sure they have my full support.
Yeah, he said he was in the position. He was at Wisconsin. Cohen got hurt. He had to step in and be the young guy, and he was appreciative that he was given space in that occasion. That's his tactic. On 3rd and 5, those come after Brown. Ball pops up in the air. It's caught. Wilson fought back to make the catch. He's a yard short. Wow. Lucky to avoid a turnover there.
Yeah, they fooled him again with some of these pre-snap movements, moving the safeties around. Brown comes down initially, and you know, you're thinking, okay, we got a blitz over here to the left. The offensive line make these checks, and then the blitz comes here. So they're trying to mess with his eyes, and it worked.
Are they messing with us here? 4th down in their own end. Offense out there. Up 10 at this point. I don't know what the analytics say. I can't believe they'd say go for it here.
No, there's no chance. Billy Napier's trying to get his attention. He's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, so here's Jeremy Crawshaw, the Aussie, to Coleman, who lets it go over his head, and it's going to roll dead. And Rodemaker and a struggling offense. It has 16 total yards so far. It's going to be pinned back at the 6.
That's the kind of first half it's been for Florida, and unfortunately for Florida State and Mike Norvell.
No, this is the glitter guys here, dreaming of a perfect season, dreaming of an ACC championship and going to the CFP, but then all of a sudden, it's a nightmare what happened to Travis last week. And the Buckeyes reminding him that Cardell Jones stepped into this situation, beat Wisconsin to win a Big Ten championship, and of course came up huge in the CFP. So that's not what's on his mind at the moment, though. After the 62-yard punt, Rodemaker is in his end zone, delivers a throw, and that's Wilson again. They have a real connection. It was Wilson who made 2 clutch touchdown catches against Louisville last year. When Travis got hurt, Rodemaker came in. He looked for number 14, and he engineered a comeback win.
Yeah, I think, you know, let's reserve judgment on Florida State and Rodemaker. I know you are too, but this guy's a coach's son. He's in his 4th year in this system. They got to help him out, run the football, and allow some of these playmakers around him make some plays. They've had terrible field position. I mean, he's been swimming upstream the whole first half.
Benson's behind him. He has 1 carry. Remember, he retreated and lost 11 yards. It was a big play in their first series. He's got the football for his 2nd touch, and again, he's going to be dropped behind the line. Sharif Denson's a true freshman, flying in there quickly.
Look at these guys getting downhill. They're in an aggressive mindset. It's right here, actually, where you're able to get into the backfield. An attempted block by Keon Coleman, and he goes right by him to get into that backfield. Great play by the freshman.
So Benson, 2 carries, 2 losses. Sets up a 3rd and 7. Gators walk up a backer, showing pressure, and they bring it right up the middle. Rodemaker retreats and takes a safety. This struggling Gator defense Had looked like this all season. Derek Wingo makes the play. Where has this group been? They've showed up tonight in a big way.
Well, somewhere Austin Armstrong's going crazy down there, the defensive coordinator. They have waited, and there he is right there, man. You talk about emotion and fire. It's been a tough year for this first-year defensive coordinator, and he's letting all that emotion out right now.
You're talking about a defense, Kirk, that's allowed 206 points the last 5 games.
When I talked to him last night on my way over to Ann Arbor, I landed and I said, hey, man, what do you think about this game? He said, all I know is we're going to stop their run game and we're going to hit this quarterback. We're going to come after him. We're going to come after him. And we're going to come after him. And they just came after him on that big 3rd down and come up with a safety.
There's the progressive pylon cam. You know, Rodemaker, he's not a young guy. He's a 4th-year player, but obviously inexperienced in these situations. Just, you can't allow yourself to take a sack there. The pressure was pretty obviously coming.
Yeah, and you know, again, it hadn't played a ton of football. This game's moving really fast for him right now. I got to repeat it. They've been inside their own 20 a lot tonight. Give credit to that punt. Downing that punt, the decision by Keon Coleman to let it go. Ball bounces inside the 10. And they get him to 3rd down, and they dial that pressure up.
Kirk, that loss means the Noles have 10 yards of offense. They have 17 penalty yards so far. 10 yards of offense in their 13 plays. Fitzgerald boots it away. Etienne on the run. Etienne will return the ball into Noles territory. And this Gator team just struggling to get to 500 tonight, really building momentum moment by moment here.
I haven't seen the swamp come alive like this in a long time. This is what Billy Napier has envisioned for this program. And a rivalry weekend against the Noles has brought out the best of him. There's Austin Armstrong after that big sack, dialing up that pressure.
He's 30 years old. Brought in here. He's spent time with Kirby Smart as an analyst in Georgia. And I'll tell you what, he's felt it. He's a pretty positive person, but they have been eviscerated.
They're young.
Use one word throughout the second half of the season.
We're young.
I got it. Well, this is a reverse. They flip it back. And Brown just has to throw it away. A little trickery, but the timing wasn't perfect. And Braden Fisk knocked the quarterback down. Perfect to say the least.
Noles not fooled at all, and it was Fisk and Farmer that got in there. And they're going to get him on it. He just tried to get rid of that football. They're going to get him on intentional grounding here.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 17. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
Billy Napier feeling it, though, Kirk. You get the sack, the safety. You get a great return off the free kick. He's thinking, let's take a shot here with some trickery.
It's almost like a sudden change with the field position they had after the safety and the punt return.
Fisk hit him as he threw the ball. There wasn't a receiver anywhere near. He was trying to get the ball to the bench.
Trying to get
he
the
was
ball
in the
out.
pocket.
Yep. Well, it pushes him way back. And that's, you know, Billy Napier, like you said, he sensed an opportunity there in plus territory at the 46 after the return. Wanted to go for a big home run shot. It backfires.
It's a 14-yard loss in the penalty. Etienne hops forward, gets some of the yards back to the 47.
You know, we could talk a lot about Mike Norvell or Adam Fuller, the defensive coordinator. This is where the lead. This is a team that's a championship caliber defense and team. This is where the leadership of guys like Brandon. I see Fisk out there bouncing around, trying to get this team up. They're almost like in a fog right now, for whatever reason. You know, and you're playing in a rival game. You just have to be able to get your tempo up and your energy up, even though you're on the ropes right now. And it takes sometimes the leaders of the team, not the coaches, to try to get the team engaged and fired up.
Brown on the move, chased by Verse, and just throws it incomplete to Boardingham. This is a Florida State defense that's been equipped in these situations to make plays to turn games around. The big win at Clemson, eventually it went in overtime. It was Kalen DeLoach who came in, knocked the ball loose, scooped it up, ran it in. That play turned that game around when the Tigers had momentum. They need something like that.
That's what I'm saying. You need a play. And even last week, there was a sluggish, slow start. And then they were able to, make some plays once Jordan Travis went down. And it's, you're in too big of a game, and there's too much at stake to have a sluggish start.
Crawshaw kicks it. Coleman will let the last one bounce over his head, and it cost him. Makes the fair catch this time at the 10. 4:02 before halftime. Seminoles down 12-zip. Late in the season. Seminoles from the 10. Hand it off. Benson, that's his first positive gain after a couple of losses. He rips off 15 to get the drive going.
And there they go. That's what you look for. Maurice Smith to center, pulls around, picks up a nice block, and that's just great, tough running that time by Trey Benson. Running through those arm tackles.
Get a little salty there. It looked like Dimitri Emanuel, the offensive lineman for the Noles, hit the deck, and some of his buddies were not pleased that there was traffic over top of him. They sorted out.
Jamari Lyons got over top of him.
Well, really help Rodemaker out if Trey Benson could get going. Here's a guy that averaged more than 6 yards a carry coming in. Rodemaker throws it down, and he's slipping his Benson after he makes the catch. Also a terrific receiver, but he'll lose yards that time.
Yeah, that screen game is not in play right now. I mean, they are all over that.
There's a flag, Kirk, in the pit.
And there are linemen downfield. I don't know if this is the ball is thrown across the line of scrimmage or not.
It was a loss on the play.
If he caught it beyond the line of scrimmage, it'd be linemen downfield, but maybe it's on Florida. We'll see.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct against number 95 for spitting. 95 is ejected.
For spitting.
15-yard penalty.
Wow, that's Jamari Lyons. That's a specific announcement from Jeff Heeser. See if we can see this.
Chris,
it was getting salty down there. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Lyons was the one that was on top with the player. Remember earlier where the Florida State players were upset. So now loses his cool in a second play, and it costs him the game. He's gone.
You do not see this spitting penalty called often. That's a spark. They lose a backup nose tackle and position the Noles at the 39 now.
They played such a clean game until that.
Benson into a very clogged middle. Picks up maybe a yard inside of 3 minutes before the half.
So you don't have Jordan Travis. You don't have the threat of his legs. Watch both of the edge players. Inside linebacker, edge player coming on the blitz. They don't even know Rodemaker's a threat. And he's athletic. Maybe you go back to that. He is a threat to potentially keep that. But right now the Gators aren't even considering him pulling that and going around the edge.
Had the longest pass play for this offense, 11 yards. Travis numerous times able to create electric plays throughout the season. That's been missing so far. Rodemaker from the pocket does press the ball downfield on cue, finds Jaheim Bell. That is the play that perhaps could let this quarterback settle in. They're at the 31.
Give Rodemaker a lot of credit. He reads the safety work to the middle of the field, so he knows that Bell can get inside leverage and make this throw right there on a line. Great decision reading that safety post snap, and a heck of a throw here by the junior.
29-yard chunk. They began this drive with 10 yards of total offense. Rodemaker buying some time and makes a long throw to the far side. Incomplete. Wilson tried to get back to it.
That was their first snap in plus territory in this first half. We're under 2 minutes to go.
But the complexion could completely change if they could score here before the break.
And I think this thing started by they were penned inside their own 10-yard line again, but they get a nice run, positive run by Benson. Seemed to ignite him a bit. They got the penalty. Now they're, for the first time all night, getting aggressive.
Toafili takes a handoff, and Lawrence Toafili banging through defenders. First down to the 16. Noles in business.
Good job by this offensive line here. Taking control. Jeremiah Byers with a heck of a block. Pulling a couple linemen from the left around. Now you're starting to see the balance of this offense and what they can do. They're only down 12. It feels like a lot worse. 12-point game.
They will get the ball to begin the second half, Florida State as well. Toafili again, trying to squeeze through an opening, picks up a couple. Noles do have all 3 timeouts here. No urgency at the moment. Tate Rodemaker and your Mike Norvell calling the plays. What is he like? You practice the red zone. He's had a week to get these first team reps.
And he's got the big receivers in Coleman at 6'4" and Wilson at 6'7". He's off to the right.
From the pocket. On the move now. Has to throw it to the sidelines, and Benson out of bounds. Pressured by Caleb Banks. 3rd and 9 now.
Receiver looking to his right. He's actually looking over to Johnny Wilson. He took them away, and he didn't have a check down. Eventually that pass rush forced him out, flushed him out of the pocket. So it's a big play here for the Noles. 3rd and long.
Wilson split far to the left. Coleman's in the slot to the left.
They've been blitzing him on 3rd down. Let's see if they do it again.
They do bring pressure. Rodemaker rolls away from the pressure, files near the pylon, reaching and making the catch is Wilson. 1st down at the 2.
I'll tell you what, for a guy that hadn't played a lot of football, watch when this ball comes out. It's before Johnny Wilson even turns. Good job of making a turn. Great catch. Knee, feet down. Great catch. They're going to take another peek. Looks like they're going to take a peek at this. Make sure he had possession of the football. But that was a heck of a throw by Rodemaker through that and anticipated the location of where that ball needed to go.
He rolled away from the blitz that time, didn't he, to buy himself time. Another check here, Wilson.
It's really about the ball. He's in bounds, but did he trap it right there? Bill, that one's all for you, buddy. What do you think?
I've got a catch. They're going to have to minimally go stand or confirm it. I don't see the ball moving because of the ground. His hands are on firm control.
Yeah, he's got huge hands. They were wrapped around the ball.
Huge hands, and he's 6'7" with that length, that catch radius to be able to go around, but shows those soft hands. And a great, great throw by Rodemaker there.
You haven't seen Ian Coleman involved at all.
That angle's a little bit tricky for you there, Bill.
It was either 1st and goal just outside the 1, or it's going to be 4th down. Gator fans have voiced their opinion. It's pretty obvious.
I think they're seeing that last shot that we saw. That's what they're reacting to.
Rimas Kozica, the ACC replay official. They have the replay command center in Charlotte to consult with in these situations. It's a very, very big ruling. The progressive pylon cam will show you this angle. Keep an eye on the ball. It could hit the ground as long as it's firmly clutched by Wilson at the time.
Yep. Bill, can you walk us through the operation of this with the ACC, with the head official down there? He's looking at the DVR, looking at it on his own and communicating upstairs.
Right, and they do have a command center that's involved in this. But most of the conferences, including the ACC, they want the replay official to handle things